Hi YouTube und willkommen zu einem richtig nicen, etwas anderen, neuen Video. Und zwar spielen wir gemeinsam, jetzt hier und gemeinsam auf Twitch, wir sind gerade live, Slay the Princess. Ich habe nur Gutes über dieses Spiel gehört, deswegen freue ich mich richtig arg, das jetzt gemeinsam mit euch zu spielen. Es ist ein etwas anderes Horror-Story-Game. Es ist, ich glaube, es fällt sogar unter Visual Novel. Wir werden von einem, ja, ich glaube, Erzähler ein bisschen durch diese Geschichte von dieser noch sehr traurig aussehenden, mein Gott, jetzt habe ich sogar gejinxt, Prinzessin, ja, irgendwie durch die Geschichte geführt. Und ich möchte gar nicht so viel verraten, denn das macht sowieso der Erzähler. Aber ich verrate euch so viel. Wir spielen einen Charakter in einer weit entfernten Welt. Es gab eine Prinzessin, die einst eingesperrt war in einem Kerker oder in einem Keller oder wie auch immer, in einer Hütte im Wald. Und wir sollen sie umbringen. Wenn wir sie nicht umbringen, wird alles Verderbnis irgendwie über die Welt kommen. Die Frage ist, werden wir sie umbringen oder werden wir uns dagegen entschieden? Und es gibt super, super, super viele Möglichkeiten, dieses Spiel durchzuspielen. Es gibt, glaube ich, 8 oder 7, 10, 20 verschiedene Endings, je nachdem, wie wir uns entscheiden, welche Entscheidungen wir während dieses ganzen Spieldurchlaufs irgendwie treffen. Und das finde ich richtig geil. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Ich habe keine Ahnung, wie viele von diesen Endings im Prinzip schlecht sind. Wir wissen ja, dass die Quote für die guten Endings hier auf diesem Kanal nicht so hoch sind. Deswegen bin ich sehr gespannt. Ich gehe mein Bestes, dass wir alles irgendwie zum Guten wenden. Aber das Spiel hat uns vorher schon gesagt, es gibt keine schlechten Entscheidungen. Es gibt nur neue es gibt keine schlechten Endings. Es gibt nur neue Entscheidungen. Deswegen bin ich sehr gespannt. Und ich lasse euch jetzt und wir gehen jetzt rein. Let's go. Kapitel 1. Der Held und die Prinzessin.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin, and in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Oh,
if you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Ah, und jetzt können wir... Ja, nice, okay. Oh Gott, ich kann ziemlich viel sagen. Okay. Das Ende der Welt? Worüber redest du? Das sind irgendwie was Explore. Okay, das tut eine... Silently continue to the cabin. Turn around and leave. Können wir bitte Turn around and leave machen? Okay, also. Hast du schon mal daran gedacht, dass der einzige Grund, der einzige Grund dafür, dass die Welt untergeht, vielleicht daran liegt, dass sie eingesperrt ist? Das sind alles Antworten, die wir jetzt irgendwie geben können. Gehen Sie mal einfach alle durch. Eine Prinzessin zu töten, hört sich jetzt schlecht an, oder? Also hört sich nicht so gut an, oder? Kann es nicht jemand anderes machen? Vergiss es, ich mach das nicht. Hast du schon mal daran gedacht, dass es vielleicht okay für mich ist, wenn die Welt endet? Kriege ich vielleicht eine Belohnung, wenn ich das mache? Okay. Okay, danke, dass du mir sagst, was ich tun soll. Süß! Was I've always wanted to offer Monarch. Ich wollte schon mal und einen Adligen umbringen. Viva la Revolution! Okay, das finde ich eigentlich richtig nice, weil ich würde gern, es juckt mich schon in den Fingern, einfach zu wissen, was passiert, wenn wir einfach gehen. Ich gehe davon aus, dass etwas Schlechtes passiert, aber wir sind jetzt nicht da, um irgendwie 2 Minuten Gameplay zu sehen, deswegen entscheiden wir uns jetzt einfach mal in diesem Durchlauf. Es gibt bestimmt, wir können uns ja noch überlegen, ob wir das nochmal irgendwie anderweitig durchspielen, dieses Spiel. Aber für diesen Durchlauf gehen wir jetzt rein und wir sagen, wobei, was fühle ich mehr? Ich mache das jetzt einfach mal so aus Bauchgefühl. Forget it, I'm not doing this. Okay, ich sag, eine Prinzessin zu töten klingt nicht so gut oder klingt nicht so nett, oder?
Does it? Are you a monarchist? Is slaying a princess that much worse than slaying a fisherman or a miller or a seamstress? If anything, slaying a princess is much better than slaying a seamstress. Seamstresses contribute something of value to society.
Okay. Ah, guck mal. Ich gehe jetzt trotzdem noch. So, okay, fragen wir mal das Ende der Welt.
I'm
Worüber
talking
redest du?
about the end of everything as we know it. No more birds, no more trees, and perhaps most problematically of all, no more people. You have to put an end to her.
Okay, ich glaube, wenn da Explore steht, erzählt er uns irgendwas. Wenn wir jetzt aber sowas hier zum Beispiel... Guck mal, look, I go to the game and I talk to her if she is a bird. Warte, okay, schau. Ich gehe in die Hütte und ich rede mit ihr. Und wenn sie so böse ist, wie du sagst, dann bringe ich sie vielleicht um. Slay ist jetzt nicht gerade umbringen, aber ihr wisst, was ich meine. Aber ich tue nichts zustimmen, bevor ich sie nicht face-to-face gesehen habe. Das wäre so meine Antwort. Aber können wir mal gucken. Aber wie kann eine Prinzessin am Ende der Welt in einem Kerker eingesperrt sein? Im Keller.
You have a job to do here. Just get in there and do what needs to be done. We're all counting on you.
Mhm. Hast du irgendeinen Beweis, um das zu
you're already
bringen?
on the path that leads to the cabin.
Schau, jetzt mach's einfach.
Why would you be here if it weren't to complete a very important task? You've made it this far, you might as well reach the end of your journey.
Mhm. Hast du schon mal gedacht, fragen wir mal, daran gedacht, dass die Welt vielleicht endet, weil sie eingesperrt
I
ist?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock.
Ich glaube, wir rennen.
Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up.
Okay.
And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay, also wir fassen zusammen. Der Erzähler möchte, dass wir die Prinzessin killen. Ich zweifle da ein bisschen daran. Die Frage ist am Ende, machen wir es oder machen wir es nicht? Okay, kann ich jemand anderes
if
machen?
only that were the case, but I don't make the rules. I have to say, I'm surprised at your reluctance thus far, but unfortunately for the both of us, you're the only one who can pull this off. Like I said, I don't make the rules, no matter how much I wish I did.
Okay, er macht die Regel nicht. Es ist unsere Aufgabe, sie umzubringen. Hast du schon mal daran gedacht, dass es okay für mich wäre, wenn die Welt endet?
Why would I even consider that? Nobody wants the world to end.
Doch, hallo
I
ich.
mean, maybe some people do, like nihilists or very, very evil people, but surely you're not one of those, right?
Forget it. I'm not doing this. Okay. Krieg ich eine Belohnung
Yes,
dafür?
but you'll have to slay her before you get it.
Ah, er will mir nicht... Ich traue unserem Narrator irgendwie nicht, Erzähler, aber kannst du mir sagen, was für ein Preis es gibt, wenn ich den Job gut mache?
I think you'll like it. It's a special reward. Just
Stimmt
for you.
nicht. Ich glaube ihm nicht.
Whatever you think it might be, I can promise you it's going to be even better than your wildest imagination.
Ich glaube ihm nicht. Ich will sie irgendwie jetzt schon nicht killen. Okay. Ich würde sagen... wir sagen jetzt, schau mal, ich gehe jetzt zu dieser Hütte und rede mit ihr und wenn ich sehe, dass irgendwas Böses an ihr ist, dann slay ich sie. Aber so, ich will erstmal face-to-face
I guess we'll just have to see what happens. But a word of warning. If you go in prepared to hear her out, she could easily trap you in her web of lies. And the more you listen to her honeyed words, the harder it'll be to pull yourself out.
Okay, je mehr wir mit ihr reden, umso mehr könnten wir in ihre Falle locken. Lockt sie uns in ihre Falle und wir kommen nicht so schnell wieder raus.
And every one of us is doomed.
alle von uns sind. Wie heißt das? Was
So
heißt
sure.
doomed?
Go, talk to her. See how
Okay,
that turns out
los.
for all of us.
Schau mir, was passiert.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the
Ist
princess
so geil, dass
within.
man so ein bisschen gucken kann. Okay.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Korrekt. Wir sind hier, um Prinzessinnen zu retten und sie nicht umzubringen.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what
Okay.
he's talking about.
Okay. Proceed to the cabin. Reingehen.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay, die Kabine. Die Hütte ist relativ leer. Was ist Air is stale? Ich glaube, es ist einfach so komische, alte, gestandene Luft. Fine layer of dust. Es liegt überall ein bisschen Staub. Der einzige Möbelstück, was wir sehen, ist der Tisch. Und das Messer.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this.
Ich weiß,
right.
dass ich vor dem Text sitze. Ich bin halt breit. You need it if you want to do this right. Okay, wir haben jetzt die Möglichkeit, ohne Messer reinzugehen. Oder wir... Ich will irgendwie... Nee, wir haben ja... Na, weiß nicht. Enter. Ich gehe jetzt rein, ohne Messer. Ich will das Messer... Ich lasse das Messer erstmal auf den Tisch.
The door to the basement creaks
Das war,
open,
glaube ich, schon schlecht.
revealing a
Ich ahne...
staircase
Ich rieche
faintly
böses Ende.
illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Wenn die Prinzessin hier wirklich lebt, ist sie umzubringen wahrscheinlich ein... sie würde ihr
Her
gefallen tun.
voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Oh,
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
das Messer liegt übrigens noch oben, glaube ich. Hi! Ich schaue nur kurz nach dir. Ich bin hier, um dich zu retten. Ich bin hier, um dich... Hä? I'm here to save you? I'm here to save you. Hi, ich denke, ich glaube, ich bin hier, um dich zu bringen. Ich glaube, ich gehe einfach runter.
Good. You're still
Ohne was zu
listening to
sagen.
reason. It would be better if you had a weapon, but you may still be able to do what needs to be done.
Oh, shit. Ich habe meine Waffe nicht.
You
Hallo.
walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Wir könnten jetzt auch einfach hingehen und schauen und gucken, wie wir die Dinger aufkriegen. Oder wir sagen, warte, lass uns erst kurz reden.
Okay.
Hi. Hi, na? Okay, wie ist dein Name? Ich weiß nichts über dich. Alles, was ich weiß, ist, dass du hier eingesperrt bist. Für irgendeinen Grund. Hä? Ich bin die erste Person, die du nach langem siehst. Was hast du gegessen? Was? Oder getrunken? Okay, es sind sehr viele Dinge. Warte, was gibt's denn hier noch? Oder wir können einfach nach oben hin. Ich glaube, es ist relativ. Ich weiß nicht, ob es relativ egal ist, was wir anklicken, oder ob wir einfach alles durchrattern können, so. Ich wurde geschickt, um dich umzubringen. Ich sage jetzt auch umbringen. Ich weiß nicht, was Slay. Ich glaube, Slay ist, glaube ich, ja. Wie übersetzt man Slay eigentlich korrekt? Du sollst angeblich, für das Ende der Welt sorgen. Was machst du, wenn ich dich hier rauslasse? Ich lasse dich hier unten eingesperrt. Wenigstens für eine Weile. Wir können uns ein bisschen besser kennenlernen, bis ich entscheide, was ich tue. Oh, es tut mir leid, aber ich kann dir nicht vertrauen. Dieses Risiko ist so groß, dass du to take your world over the potential fate of the world. Was? Retrieve the blade. Okay, das heißt, glaube ich, oh mein Gott, Hilfe. Mhm. Geh hoch, hol das Messer und geh wieder runter, ohne ein Wort zu sagen. Das machen wir nicht. Ich kann nicht glauben, dass sie dich hier eingesperrt haben, dass sie dich so eingesperrt haben. Ich bring dich hier raus und dann die Dinger, die... Hier. I'm going to get you out of here, don't make me regret this. Lass mich das nicht bereuen, ich hol dich hier raus. Ich frage erstmal nach dem Namen.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Your Royal Highness.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Nein, ist schon wieder sus. So Princess is your name?
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
Okay, sie hat keinen Namen, das ist schon mal sus. Und sie sagt nichts mehr.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten. I must have a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Okay, that's weird. She
Okay,
hadn't
that's
even
cool.
thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade and slay her before it's too late.
Man kann ihr nicht vertrauen. Geh hoch, hol das Messer und slay her. Nein, I don't know. Was siehst du vor? Oh, no, you're locked. Also, was hier für...
Of course I'm locked up down here for a reason.
Natürlich bin ich eingesperrt, aus gutem Grund.
Don't actually know what that reason is, but you don't just stuff a princess in a basement and throw away the key without there being some sort of an explanation, right?
Right.
You have all the explanation you need. You should know better than to trust whatever she comes up with.
Wir haben alle Erklärungen, die wir brauchen. Okay. So, wenn ich die erste Person, die du seit langem gesehen hast, was hast du gegessen oder
I
getrunken?
don't see what that has to do with anything.
Wird's jetzt pissig? Ich weiß nicht, was
This
das
is the
damit zu
only
tun hat.
time this is ever going to happen, but I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Was hat sie gegessen? Sie muss was essen. Okay. What are you going to do if I let you out of
The
here?
princess hesitates before responding.
Was machst du, wenn ich dich hier rauslasse?
She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer? Because with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
Sie wird pissig.
It's not like you'd believe me.
Nein, du bist ein bisschen komisch, aber red weiter. Jetzt habe ich... Sorry, ich kann nicht... Achso, das war das. Blablabla. Also wir könnten jetzt natürlich sie einfach rauslassen. versuchen zumindest, sie rauszulassen und gucken, was passiert. Wir könnten jetzt aber auch sagen so, hey, ich bin eigentlich hier, um dich zu töten. Du sollst angeblich dafür, du bringst das Ende der Welt. Sie guckt. Oh, sie guckt so traurig. Aber ich glaube eigentlich nicht, dass du gefährlich bist. Aber ich wollte dich sehen. Ich bin mir selber nicht sicher, was ich glauben soll. Oder ich glaube langsam, dass es wahr ist. Du hast etwas an dir, was irgendwie sich komisch anfühlt. Was irgendwie sich, keine Ahnung. Ich bin nicht sicher, was ich glauben soll.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world. I think.
I think?
I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here for so long.
Also ich finde, sie könnte auch wirklich einfach nur Plemplem sein, weil sie so seit Jahren gefühlt in diesem Kerker sitzt, oder sie hat irgendwas zu verheimlichen.
How long has she been locked away?
Did they tell you how I'm supposed to end the world?
Haben sie gesagt, wie ich die Welt... Mir wurde genug gesagt. Ich habe gehofft, dass du es mir sagst. Nein, aber ich denke, sie haben ihre Gründe, diese Information von mir geheim zu halten. Nein, deshalb glaube ich auch nicht, dass du wirklich gefährlich bist. Oder einfach still bleiben. Ich bleib still.
They haven't shared a thing, have they? All they've done is point a finger.
Was wir gemacht haben, ist einfach nur einen Finger
At
zu
the end of the
zeigen.
day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust.
Am Ende kommt es nur aufs Vertrauen an.
Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why.
Das stimmt allerdings. Er wollte uns nicht sagen, warum wir sie umbringen sollen.
I don't trust that. And I don't think you do either, or you wouldn't have come down here to talk.
So, wenn wir es glauben würden, wären wir nicht runtergekommen, um zu
She has a
reden.
point.
Das ist einfach Ding.
We're talking like this for a reason.
So this shouldn't be about what I'd do if I got out of here, or me saying the right thing to convince you to save me. This is about how messed up this whole situation is. This is my life we're talking about.
Ja, jetzt... Oh, sie ist theatralisch und tut es auf
Do you
ihr
really
Leben
think I can
projizieren.
even end the world? Why would I even want to?
Denkst du, ich könnte die Welt beenden? Warum sollte ich das überhaupt
We
wollen?
both know that if there's people we can't trust in this situation, it's whoever locked me down here, and it's whoever sent you here. And those two groups are probably one and the same.
Don't let her turn the tables here. This isn't about trust. This is about risk. We stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch, no less.
So, ich möchte dich umbringen, aber ich kann dich nicht freilassen. Das ist zu riskant. Was, wenn wir hier, was? What if I stayed here for... Was ist, wenn ich hier bleiben würde und dir ein bisschen Gesellschaft leiste? Glaube ich, oder? Ist es das? Vielleicht werden dann alle glücklich. Yay, sie ist halt zwar angekettet mit ihrem Ding, aber vielleicht werden alle glücklich, wenn wir einfach nur ein bisschen reden und dann gehe ich halt wieder. Ich lasse dich hier unten eingesperrt. Das war das, was wir vorhin hatten. I'm sorry, okay, das waren die alten... Wir haben immer noch die alten Möglichkeiten. Ja, also wenn wir jetzt sagen, ich werde dich nicht umbringen, aber ich werde dich nicht freilassen, es ist zu riskant, weiß ich nicht, ob wir uns später doch nochmal umentscheiden können und sagen, hey, irgendwie bist du mir doch suspekt. Ich glaube, ich bringe dich um. Oder wir lassen sie komplett... Ich will aber irgendwie gerne diese etwas... Also für uns zumindest vom ersten Gedankengang her etwas positive hier Geschichte irgendwie durchleben, indem wir sie eigentlich nicht umbringen und gucken, was passiert. Ich frag mal, was sie
That
dazu
seems like a
sagt.
pretty good compromise.
Also, dass wir bleiben, wir bringen sie nicht um, aber wir können sie auch nicht freilassen.
I don't think I could bear being down here that much longer.
Ich kann hier unten nicht länger bleiben.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
Wenn wir jetzt nicht langsam uns um sie kümmern, wird sie ja
So
Weg nach
I'm
draußen
the
finden.
only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here.
Oh,
It
die
would make
Musik
it
ist aus
easier
uns.
for both of us if you'd help.
Die Stimmung kippt. Hört ihr das?
But if you don't, I can promise that you'll regret that decision.
Jetzt gefällt sie
You
mir irgendwie
have
nicht.
to make a choice. Let's hope for all our sakes it's the right one.
Oh, sie ist so richtig gruselig. Okay, entweder wir holen jetzt das Messer. Okay, ich lasse sie raus. Oder ich lasse sie eingesperrt. Okay, sie war gerade echt gruselig, weil sie sagt so, ja, entweder du hilfst mir jetzt hier raus oder so, oder ich finde einen Weg nach draußen. Und du wirst schon sehen, so was ihr davon habt. Aber sie sieht so gruselig aus. Aber vielleicht ist das Spiel ja auch nur, dass wir denken, dass sie gruselig ist. Mit diesem übergroßen roten Text und so. Ich würde sie, glaube ich will sie nicht, jetzt will ich sie irgendwie doch nicht rauslassen. Ich drücke jetzt mal hier, ich lasse sie
You
im
know you
Basement.
think this is some kind of fair compromise, but it isn't. No one wins here.
Ich
It's a chance we'll have to
konnte
take.
doch die
We
Kompromisse
can
schließen.
make this work if we just stay here and keep watch. No one has to die.
Mhm.
Where are you going? You can't just leave me here.
You turn your back to the princess and make your way back to the stairs.
Fine. Turn your back on me. But it won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
Alter, die Stimme.
Slip these chains? She can't, right?
Sie
She
kann
needed our
die,
help to get out of here.
sie kann die Dinger nicht
Do you
loswerden,
hear the
oder?
conviction in her voice?
Nein.
I don't think she's bluffing.
Sie klingt sehr
Either way,
gruselig.
she dropped the mask, didn't she? You can still grab the blade and get back down here.
Na, we're sticking to the plan and locking her, weil wir bleiben bei dem Plan und wir lassen sie eingesperrt. Oh, that's a relief. I was afraid I'd already committed not to slaying her. Nee, ich lasse sie,
It'll
ich
be
bleib
the death
dabei.
of all of us, but fine.
Ich lasse sie
Don't
eingesperrt. Ich lasse sie eingesperrt. Ich bringe sie nicht um, ich lasse sie eingesperrt.
You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
Oh mein Gott, bitte renn jetzt nicht raus
Okay.
oder so.
We can make this work.
Mhm.
You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off, your eyelids heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. It's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good side.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw.
Die
more
Arme.
like
Nein, ich
something
ändere
out
meine
of a
Meinung.
nightmare.
Also nein. Like she's less of a princess you saw, was? And more like something out of a
As she
nightmare.
violently rattles the door, do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece. I won't forget what you did, and I'll never forgive it.
Ey, ich hätte dich auch umbringen können. Ich hab dich einfach leben lassen.
I know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
Vielleicht habe ich sie auch erstmal so, hey, ich rette dich. Okay, doch nicht.
Doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No, it doesn't.
Was treaten me all you want, all it does is ease, oder? My guilty conscience. Aber es war nur gespielt, oder? Du bist nicht wirklich unschuldig und harmlos. Du bist nicht mal eine Prinzessin, du bist ein Monster. Ignore and go to sleep. Okay, das war nur geschauspielert.
Harmless, if I wanna be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall. You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Wo ist sie?
Thanks for helping me get out of that awful basement.
Ich hab doch gar nichts gemacht.
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply stops working. It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb, and then your feet, and then your legs. You lie prone on the floor of the cabin, unable to do anything but witness her approach. Whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the truth. Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Ah!
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills. What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
Wie war das mit Bad Ending eigentlich?
I'd say better
Oh,
luck
sorry, ich war
next
zu schnell.
time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. This can't actually be how everything ends. I'm sorry, but it is.
Tut mir leid.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Nein! Was? Warte, Moment.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path
Oh, das
is a
geht wieder
cabin.
los.
And in the basement of that cabin
It's
is
a
a
princess.
princess. You're here to slay her.
Ist das geil?
If you don't,
Ey, das ist richtig cool
it will be
gemacht.
the end of
Ich
the
mag auch diese Ding. Das erinnert mich so ein bisschen an so einen Tim Burton-Film. Es könnte so ein Tim Burton-Skizze sein, so wie Nightmare Before Christmas oder so ein Alice im Wunderland. Keine Ahnung, so ein Filmskizze, wie es aussehen soll. Okay, können wir ganz kurz, weil ich meine, wir durchleben diese Geschichte immer wieder. Wir sind tot. Das war jetzt natürlich das Schlimmste, was hätte passieren können. Vielleicht hätten wir sie auch slayen können, vielleicht wäre das ja auch schlimm. Wir wissen, was passiert, wenn ich sage, ich gehe
This is
einfach.
good. I was worried you might fall for his shit again, but this is good. Whatever answers there are to be found, they aren't here, and they definitely aren't there. Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Weißt du überhaupt, wohin du gehst? Nope. Vielleicht gehe ich in die, ich gehe in die Kabine und ich werde mit der Prinzessin reden. Vielleicht bringe ich sie um, vielleicht auch nicht. Ich denke, wir werden sehen. Okay, fine. Was? You're persistent. I go to the cabin and slay the princess. Okay, warte. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin.
I suppose you just
Geh langsam, aber
quietly
sicher einfach wieder
continue
runter.
down the path away from the cabin. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How
Nein!
convenient. Everything's
How
back on
convenient.
track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave
You're
again.
really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
Also jeder stirbt. Also ist tot. Für immer.
But fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came.
Wir gehen wieder zurück den Weg, den wir gekommen sind.
Wait, something isn't right. can you still hear me? You're supposed to wind up back at the cabin again. But everything is getting fuzzy.
Was?
What's going on? Where are we?
Oh, seht ihr das?
It's finally happened, hasn't it? We finally cracked.
Unsere paranoide innere Stimme. Okay, kann ich mal gucken. As the world around you is unwound, its physical matter replaced by a textured nothingness. It is quiet. There's a distant rumbling, a sound of many sounds. Undulation pulse louder as something other comes close. Irgendwas kommt näher. Irgendwelche Pulsi... What the freaking hell? Feelers probe across the fabric of reality. Other extremities find your consciousness and wrap themselves around it. You are no longer alone. Eee. Resistance. Fingers drag claws across the glass surface of your soul. Frustration. This vessel is full of you. Ja. I need something empty I can crawl inside of. I need something shaped like me. Was? Ich muss irgendwas finden. Warte, was? This is a nightmare. Wake up. Embrace the thoughts constricting you. Wachen wir auf? Nee. Urgency. You have a story you need to finish. It is the only way for us to escape this place. What the freaking hell passiert? Was ist in diesem Wald los? Cross pushing against your will. No, you cannot go back. Not there. Regret. This world is broken beyond repair. We must weave something new. Weave a wagging finger. There's only so much thread in this place. Do not waste it. I am our only salvation. Ah!
You're on a
Habt ihr
path
Ding
in
gerade
the
gesehen?
woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement
Okay,
of
wir
that cabin
können...
is a princess.
Das könnten wir jetzt aber wieder durchleben und einfach nochmal dieses Ding, aber dann Wake Up machen. Das ist wiederum
You're here to
nice.
slay her.
Okay,
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
haben wir verstanden. So. Okay, danke, dass du mir sagst, was ich tun soll.
It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Mhm. Okay, ich gehe rein.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air
Ich glaube, das
is
ist okay
stale
für euch,
and
wenn wir das...
musty,
Ich würde den
and the
ungern
floor and walls are
unterbrechen,
painted
außer
in
mit
a fine
meiner
layer
Stimme.
of dust.
Ich würde das
The
gerne
only
einfach
furniture
durchleben
of
nochmal,
note
was er sagt.
is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay, wisst ihr, was wir jetzt machen? Wir sagen jetzt so von wegen so, da ist eine Hütte, da ist ein Ding und da ist die Prinzessin und du sollst sie slayen. Danke, dass du mir sagst, was du tun sollst. So, jetzt sagen
The
wir,
blade is your implement.
ja,
You'll
Amen
need
und
it
Amen
if
zu
you
allem,
want
was
to
er
do
sagt. Wir
this
tun jetzt
right.
einfach so, entweder verarschen wir jetzt den Narrator oder wir sagen einfach ja und also, take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Mhm. Okay, und wir gehen runter. Wir haben jetzt das Messer.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint
So, und
of
was
the
machen wir
rot
jetzt?
filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Mhm. Okay.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Oh! Es ist nicht mehr mit hello?
She sounds
Wer ist da?
dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Hi! Okay, ich weiß nicht, ob wir jetzt wirklich sagen sollen, hi, ich bin ja eigentlich hier, um dich zu töten. Ich gehe trotzdem
Good.
runter.
You're still listening to reason.
Ja. Ich gehe einfach runter. Who's there?
You walk down the stairs
Oh, sie sieht irgendwie anders
and
aus.
lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
Wisst ihr, was ich mich gerade frage, weil ich jetzt das sehe? Warum ist das andere eigentlich nicht dran? Was ist hier? Vor allem sieht es aus, als wäre es abgerissen. Also, hat es irgendwie einen Grund? Da oben sind auch so die Sterne.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the
Aber habt ihr
world?
gemerkt, jetzt ist schon also das ist jetzt anders. Jetzt ist sie ein bisschen kühler und sie ist ein bisschen selbstsicherer und er erzählt es auch
Focus
wieder
on the
anders.
task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Was? Nein, keinesfalls. Warum solltest du, why you think that? Warum glaubst du das? Okay, ja, du hast mich erwischt. Ich bin hier, um dich zu slayen. Na, Ich hab's noch nicht entschieden. Ich bin hier, um zu reden. Steel your nerves and step forward. Wir machen jetzt, und wir machen einen Schritt nach vorne.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Warum denkst du, dass du mich killen
I'm probably
kannst?
chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Sie gefällt mir jetzt gar nicht.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Wenn du jetzt zögerst, wird es zu spät. Ende ist. Okay, was ist, wenn sie blufft? Was ist, wenn sie uns
You go
umbringt?
into this expecting to die. You're going to die.
Okay.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Ihre Stimme mag ich nicht. Slide Princess. I'm not dropping the blade.
Then
Ich
I'm
lasse
not
sie
talking
nicht.
to you.
Ich spreche nicht mit dir. Was ist Drop the Blades? Ich gehe nochmal
You
auf
stare at
sie
the
zu.
princess, squinting.
Was ist Squinting?
She
Anstarren?
squints back.
Starren, glaube ich, oder? So,
The two
also
of you are gonna do
so-
this forever, aren't you?
Blick, so. Okay. Bist du sicher, dass du nicht reden willst?
Yeah, I'm sure.
For goodness sake, the two of you can't just stand around like this forever. Eventually, something is going to give, and I highly recommend that you be the one to take the initiative here.
Okay. Das finde ich jetzt echt schwer. Ich war eigentlich gerade noch dabei, sagen, wir gehen jetzt auf sie zu und wir bringen sie jetzt um. Oder wir aber auch wissen, was passiert, wenn wir die Dinge fallen lassen. Weil sie ist schon sehr, aber sie ist so von mir so, ja, keine Ahnung. Okay, komm, mach mal.
You charge the princess, blade trembling in your hand, but you've already lost the battle.
Oh!
She casually sidesteps your thrust before knocking you to the ground with a single blow from her elbow.
Sie kann
We shouldn't have
fighten.
hesitated.
Wir hätten nicht zögern sollen.
But she doesn't stop there. She kicks you a few times
Was
for
ist
good
mit
measure,
unserer Hand?
the pointed tip of her shoes feeling like a pickaxe against your fracturing bones, making sure you stay down.
What the freaking hell?
As you lie, crushed and broken on the basement floor, the princess kneels on your throat with the kind of weight you didn't think her slight frame could possibly possess. As you gasp for air, she eyes you with an intense curiosity.
Okay, sie ist so schwerer
You
als
shouldn't have
gedacht.
let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
Is this really the best you could do? Look at you. Completely broken. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little disappointed.
She applies more pressure, slowly squeezing what's left of your life out of your lungs.
This is the end, isn't it?
I'm afraid it is.
Das ist das Ende, oder? Ich glaube,
Everything
das ist
goes dark, and you die.
Die. Ja, in a cabin. Geht es wieder von vorne los?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that
Wieso
path
sterbe ich
is
immer?
a cabin.
Okay,
And in the basement of that cabin
ist a
is a
princess.
princess. You're
Okay.
here to slay her.
If
If you don't,
the end of the world.
it will be the end of the world.
Gut, also. Wir gehen jetzt einfach mal rein. Direkt, straight. Wir gehen zur Kabine.
Warning, before you go any further.
Mhm.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Okay. Sie wird lügen, sie wird uns betrügen und sie wird alles tun, damit
We
wir
might as well
nicht
just
das tun, was wir tun müssen.
pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic.
Voice of the
You're
broken.
being annoying. Just ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included. I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter. Rescue her? Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Ich finde es geil, dass wir so Stimmen in unserem Kopf haben.
If
Okay, wir
that's what you
proceed to
want.
kill.
I guess I don't have a say here.
The voice of the broken. Also ich bin sehr gespannt, ob die das auch auf Deutsch übersetzen, weil das wurde ja gefragt auf der Steam-Seite, ob
The
die...
interior of the cabin is larger and more grandiose than its humble exterior would
Was
suggest.
geht jetzt ab?
The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay, guck mal, das Ding ist jetzt hier oben. Okay, die Kabine sieht plötzlich anders aus. Irgendwas stimmt nicht. Ich finde schon wieder, das Spiel versucht mich wieder zu verarschen. Jetzt wollte ich so straight reingehen, jetzt verunsichert es mich wieder. Auf jeden Fall bin ich gespannt, ob die das auch auf Deutsch rausbringen, weil das irgendwie gefragt wurde auf deren Steam-Seite. Das war natürlich geil. Das war natürlich richtig cool.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, nehmen wir es
Why
jetzt
do we
mit.
feel so small?
Warum
We
fühlen wir
don't
uns so
feel
klein?
small. We are small.
Wir sind nicht, fühlen uns nicht klein. Wir sind klein. Okay, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the wall. Du hast nichts über dieses
That's
Ding
because
gesagt.
there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Hä, doch, da ist das Ding.
There's definitely a mirror. There isn't.
Doch.
Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway.
Das ist diese
I'm sure that if we
pessimistische
looked
Stimme.
in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse.
Seine innere Stimme, The Voice of the Broken, erinnert mich an den Film Alles steht Kopf und es ist einfach Trauer. Ich weiß gar nicht, ob es Trauer heißt, aber sie heißt, glaube ich, nicht
For the
Trauer.
last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror. So no
Das
one
die
needs to
blaue
worry
auf jeden
about
Fall.
confronting a
Natürlich ist da ein
grisly
Mirror.
visage any time in the near future. Though, for what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal. Probably. Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Okay. I care about whether I'm being lied to. Hier ist ein Spiegel. Ich will mich anschauen. Ich möchte schauen, wie hübsch ich bin. It doesn't matter if there's... Okay, ich würde gerne wissen... Ich würde gerne gucken... Ich würde ins Spiel gucken.
I'd rather the
will ins
princess
Spiel
kill us
gucken.
again than see how dreadful we are. I care less about what we look like and more about whether we're being lied to. If he's willing to lie about something as innocuous as a mirror, what else is he hiding from us? I'm not lying to you.
Guck mal, wenn er schon
Use
sagt,
your
dass da
eyes,
kein
there
Mirror
is
ist, wieso,
no
was
mirror.
verheimlicht er noch vor
Why
uns?
would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would it even do?
Okay, approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Doch, ein...
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I
Wieso
hope
sehen
you
wir
know
eigentlich
how
aus wie das
ridiculous you
Biest
look.
von Schönes Biest?
We should count ourselves lucky. Some things
Okay,
are
der
better
Mirror ist weg.
unseen.
So. Okay, der Mirror ist wirklich weg. Okay, es war aber ein Spiegel da. Was möchte uns das Spiel jetzt schon wieder sagen? Okay, wir nehmen das
Take
Ding.
the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Mhm. Und wir gehen runter. Jetzt habe ich gar nicht gesehen, wir haben als Cursor jetzt die Hand mit dem Ding.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. Huh. This is actually kind of nice.
Irgendwie
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Jetzt klingt sie schon
You
wieder so
weren't kidding. You
gruselig.
said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago, you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Mhm. Okay, wir laufen weiter runter.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
Was ist... Wir haben doch vorhin uns darüber beschwert, dass sie so traurig aussieht und so... ja.
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity.
Ich find's richtig cool.
Drop it.
Jetzt sind wir ja gewappnet. Ich halte es
As
fest
if
doch.
on command, the blade slips from your
Oh,
grasp.
doch nicht.
It clatters uselessly to the floor.
Hä? Wieso? Ich hab
Oh,
Titan
didn't
ja...
drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember?
Okay, ich
Are
wollte schon
you really
sagen.
just gonna let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade.
Ja eben, ich hab doch gerade gesagt,
Of course
wie
you
gemein.
dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
Ich gehe runter auf die Knie.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk?
Jetzt redet sie mit mir.
The last time we met, you couldn't even scratch me. And yet here you are again, trying to succeed where you've already catastrophically failed. What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
Was führt dich wieder zurück in diese empty halls of death?
Speak.
Sprich.
The last time we met, nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal with her. Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
Ist die böse? Das müssen wir jetzt herausfinden. Das finden wir jetzt irgendwie Schritt für Schritt
Being
heraus. Oder auch eben
melodramatic,
nicht. Vielleicht
but
ist sie auch
yeah,
einfach
we've
nur
been
eine
here
traurige
before and she
Prinzessin. Aber sie
absolutely
sieht irgendwie gar nicht
destroyed
so...
us. What are we even supposed to do to stop her?
Was sollen wir überhaupt machen, sie zu stoppen?
Worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
Mhm. Okay, You're supposed to end the
You
world.
weak-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
The princess closes her eyes in contemplation.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new.
Jetzt sieht sie
And
so
the
rosig
world
aus.
as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable. There's nothing else for us to do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice to us.
Ich glaube nicht, dass she'll nice to us. Was willst du, dass ich tue? Was hast du geplant? Just you're supposed to end the world doesn't actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. Nur weil das heißt, dass du die Welt irgendwie hier zerstören willst, das heißt nicht, dass du es machen musst. Du kannst machen, was du willst. Du kannst sein, wer du willst. Ich habe Fragen an dich, bevor ich... What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you to end the world. I don't care if something... Okay, ich würde mal sagen, nur weil es heißt, dass musst du es nicht machen.
This isn't about desire. This is about what I am. And I have little interest in discussing destiny with one that cannot see the divine truth that shines in my heart.
I'm yours to command. Was ist mit dir passiert, nachdem ich gestorben
Know
bin?
the limits of your privilege, little bird. There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Tja, jetzt haben wir halt... Okay, was hast du geplant? Das fangen wir auch
All
noch
you
kurz.
have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Wenn du so stark bist, warum kannst du nicht
Don't
selber
be
zerbrechen?
rude. Of course she can. It's not rude to question someone who's apparently trying to end the world. That's exactly why it's rude. We should know our place.
I can, easily. But that isn't what I want to do. The story of a terrible and bountiful God unbounded of her own will is no story at all. It's not worthy of everything I am,
Okay,
or
krass.
everything I'm bound to become. It isn't even worthy of what I was. The destruction in Genesis that's to follow in my wake is deserving of a song that can echo for eternity. The song of you, being so struck by my glory, so overwhelmed
Böses.
by what I am, that you feel you must deliver me into the world. And from your act of utter devotion and submission springs a new dawn, a better dawn. Submit now, submit later. It makes no difference. Because in the end, no matter how vainly you struggle against me, my will triumphs over yours.
Ich werde dir nicht helfen, die Welt zu zerstören. Es interessiert was. I don't care if something new comes after. Ich kann dich das nur nicht machen. Ich kann dich das nicht machen lassen. Oder ich bin dir zu Diensten. Oder ich sag mal das Erste.
I see. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do
Oh.
it. It's what she wants. No objections here.
No
Don't
objections
know
here.
what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Ich kann gar nichts mehr
You
machen.
reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that. We were probably gonna stand anyway.
Ja. Okay,
You
steh
can
auf.
feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I
Ja.
am brilliant radiance. Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
Nein.
What?
What?
You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Ja. End this.
Oh,
Ach so.
we'll end this all right.
Ja, wir werden es nicht schaffen.
Your hand lifts the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Du hebst das Ding und du hältst es an deiner. Es tut mir leid für die schlechte. Weil du es falsch verstanden hast. Ich meinte so, kill sie, nicht kill dich. Ich kann nicht.
No, you can't just slay yourself. You're perfectly healthy and capable, and all you have to do is ignore her and do
Du kannst sie
what
machen.
has to be done. The blade and the hand that wields it remain firmly locked in place until you change your mind and decide to do literally anything else.
Ich will ja, aber ich kann
Look at
nicht.
you quaking against my will. An ant defying a god. It's pointless to resist. In the end, everything submits to oblivion. But you're not the one resisting me, are you? There's something else in there. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person. It's something
Stimme.
different now. An echo.
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able to interact with me.
You're a small one, aren't you?
Ich rede einfach mit dem
A
Erzähler
shriveling
jetzt.
little worm stretched beyond its limits, trying to control things that it can't understand.
No. What are you talking about? I'm just...
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
Oh.
You bring the blade to your neck. You slice through soft flesh, severing veins and arteries, your blood flowing freely down your body. It's a painful lesson in obedience, but the pain won't last forever. No.
Ja, toll.
When I see you again, you'll free me from my chains and deliver me to the destiny that lies beyond this place.
We will. I promise.
Nein!
I know you will.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
Die hat einfach den Narrator. Die hat einfach den Apotheosis. Sie hat einfach den Narrator
You're on
gedingst.
a path in the woods.
Und at the
End
end
of that path. Oh, let me guess. At the end of that path.
Also guck mal.
Excuse me?
Ich dachte tatsächlich, dass wir immer wieder, also dass sich so dass wir in dieser Kabine, also praktisch Kabine, Kapitel Nummer 1, immer wieder also einfach in dieser Anfangskonstellation sind und nicht, dass es plötzlich in irgendeinen Turm geht.
This is the
Excuse
third
me?
time we've been here, and this is hardly a path in the woods. It's all big
Jetzt sind wir
and
Voice of the
weird.
Paranoid.
Another witness to her radiance. Her hour is soon upon us. I'm here to keep him in check. I'm sick of prying fingers digging around in our head, and he's making it all too easy for them to get in. This is bad. Oh, is it now? I hadn't noticed.
Ich glaube, ich habe alles scheiße gemacht.
No, I'm quite all right, but if all of you would take a moment to settle down, there's something important I'd like to get across to you before it's too late.
Sagt mir mal am Ende von diesem Video, ob ihr genauso abgedriftet seid wie ich oder ob nur ich so scheiße gebaut habe.
Not to be trusted, that one. No, I mean, yes, it's about the princess, but whatever you think I'm going to say, it's probably not that. You're not to be trusted either. Look, fine, just out with it already, yeah? But if I hear the words, "You're here to slay her," or "If you don't,
it will be the end of the world.
I've lost speaking privileges. You two are just wasting your time. It's all going to end when we open that cabin door, which means it's already all over. What's the point of dawdling when the end is already written? Okay, that nonsense he's going on about, that's what we need to talk about. You've been here before, obviously. So
Ja,
you have
viermal,
met us.
dreimal, viermal.
Because boy, were you in denial about that last time. No, I haven't met you, but reality is clearly falling apart at the moment, and the only reason that would happen is if you knew things you weren't supposed to know. What the hell are you talking about? He's talking about those weird marble trees and how wrong everything looks. Yes, exactly. Whatever you did before gave her far too much power. So you've got to cut it out, get to that cabin and slay her before things get any more out of hand.
Okay, wollte ich ja. Hat nicht funktioniert.
And our thoughts doing that. Make her small, make her small, make her small, make her small. Shit. What if I'm doing it wrong? What if I'm making her even stronger? Do you hear those two with their runaway thoughts? I'm only giving you the sliver of information I'm giving you now because things are already deep in the shitter. This was my last card to play, and it looks like it's already made things worse. So hurry, cabin,
now. Run away! Stay where you are. Okay, head to the cabin.
A great and horrible change is already underway. The ground quakes beneath your feet, and you feel an unyielding force pulling at you and your surroundings. The trees start to sway, then crumble, breaking apart as everything is drawn towards the cabin. Even the earth beneath you seems to shift, your feet unable to grip solid ground as you're dragged forward along with everything else.
The end of everything. The beginning of something new. And the moment we open that door, she will be free.
Stop believing everything you hear. We just have to get our thoughts in order. We just have to think straight. Any, words of warning? You already know everything you need to know.
Ja, wir sind ja schon ein paar. Okay, proceed to the cabin.
As you step forward,
oh shit!
the cabin explodes. You're flung backwards, violently slamming into a tree as debris rains down around you.
What the freaking hell ist das? Was ist das für ein Spiel?
You watch in paralyzed awe and terror as the princess emerges, her body unfurling from some vast space as she stands upright to face you. The world.
Die Musik ist aber mega schön.
The ruined landscape shifts, trees and stone and the ground itself succumbing to her gravity, orbiting her like a great black hole.
Finally, the little bird has set me free. This is always how it was going to end. And this is always how it was going to begin.
There's a loud thunk from the tree behind you as something embeds in its shattered bark. Your pristine blade. It's now or never.
Ja. Take the blade.
Through all of this, I'm with you. A real god wouldn't need us as part of her plan.
You'll never make it to her. And even if you do,
Doch, wir jumpen da jetzt so durch über diese fliegenden Dinger und alles.
We'll do what we were always supposed to. We'll take this blade and we'll sink it into her heart.
Ja.
The way everything's being flung around her. If we just throw ourselves in her direction, I don't know. Maybe it'll work. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe we can do whatever we want to do. With a forceful tug, you yank the blade out from the tree. You close your eyes and take a deep breath, and for a moment you can feel everything around you, like you're a part of everything, and everything is a part of you. And then your eyes open, settling on your target. It's time.
Ja! Slay the princess!
You launch yourself towards the princess. You can feel her gravity envelop you, carrying you from the ground into the violent swirl.
Und jetzt kommt irgendein Scheiß am Ende. Ich sag's euch, Leute. Da kommt jetzt irgendwie, wir haben jemand anderes erstochen. Irgendwie alles wird so normal. Es war wie so eine Halluzination und irgendwie so...
Even now you define me. Do it then. Show me what you think it takes to end what's destined to end everything.
Ich habe kein gutes Gefühl.
Yeah. Do it.
Ja.
Show her.
Ja! End es!
Why do I feel so cold?
Oh. Der Spiegel. You do not get the chance to slay her. Something has taken her away and it's left something else in her place.
Oh.
Super.
Where did she go?
She's gone.
Ja, scheiß
Is
Spiegel.
the end of the world? Did she end herself? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Okay. Weiß nicht, wo sie hingegangen ist. I don't know how we'd even go about looking for her. Der Erzähler ist weg. The narrator is gone. I think it was supposed to... Ich glaube...
It is. Does that mean the world ended? Yeah. No voice needling us anymore. Feels good, but I also feel itchy. Cold. Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing. You're right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. I should feel better with her gone. But I don't feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
Ich denke, ich sollte in den Spiegel schauen.
Dreadful about it.
Ich will nicht in
I
den
don't
Spiegel
think you
schauen. Ich glaube
Yes.
auch nicht, dass wir es schubben sollten.
I don't want to look at us.
Okay, wir approach
I'm
the
begging
mirror.
you, don't do this.
Der hat dir nicht
It's
Angst gemacht, der
different now.
Spiegel.
It feels, I don't know, final.
Du ernährst dich dem Spiegel. Gaze into your reflection. Silent as you reach forward, they're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you! Hä? Was? What the fuck? Du bist alleine in dem leeren, an dem Ort, der leer ist. Es ist ruhig hier. Proceed to the cabin. There's a cabin in the... Oh, shit. Du bist... What the fuck? Du bist bei der Hütte. Nähere dich ihr. Was? You recognize the presence inhabiting the shell. It is the entity that dwells in the space between. Das ist irgendwie jetzt creepy.
Something returns to the long quiet. It has surrendered its path of annihilation.
Was heißt nochmal
and brings me the
Annihilation?
gift of a fragile vessel.
Du bist das Ding, das hatten wir doch vorhin diese Halluzination, als ich nicht in die Kabine gegangen bin. Also zumindest da. So, was bist du?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
Weiß ich nicht. Ich weiß nicht, was ich
I
bin.
think that you are like me.
Die Musik ist mega schön in dem Spiel. Können wir das mal ganz
We
kurz
are
appreciaten?
oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
Ich denke, auf Deutsch wäre das richtig geil. Es ist ein bisschen schwieriges Englisch teilweise, also jetzt nicht immer. Ich finde, der Narrator, wenn der was erzählt hier unten, ist es relativ einfach. Manche Sachen sind ein paar Wörter weiß ich nicht, aber Ich denke, den Sinn verstehen wir alle. Okay, ich glaube, du hast das Ding, was ich im Wald gesehen habe, oder? Ich dachte, das wäre ein Traum.
Vague recollections, empty tunnels without a mouth. I am sorry if I frightened you.
Der Zeichenstil ist auch so gut, übel. Ich finde, es ist mal ein richtig anderes, einfach mal ein komplett anderes Game, was wir, also ich habe sowas noch nie gespielt. Generell so ein bisschen hier, wie heißt das, so ein Visual Novel. Kann man das als Visual Novel wirklich betiteln? Ich denke schon, oder? Und das sieht echt so ein bisschen creepy schön aus. Ist das Ende der Welt?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Okay. The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes. Nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond. Perspectives to make my own. This one is dominance. A figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for a terrifying and divine heart. Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
Bist du das, oder bist du das, was mich hierher geschickt hat, um die Prinzessin umzubringen? Hast du mich hier
I
gefangen?
have only just
hast
now
du mich
stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Ich popel gerade in der Nase unabsichtlich. Bist du die Prinzessin?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess? Ich sag mal nichts. Okay. Attack and destroy your body? Was passiert jetzt?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Ich will mal wissen, Wessel ist Gefäß. Mann, das macht jetzt alles Sinn. So.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole.
Ich war mir gerade nicht sicher.
And perhaps
Kurz
then
gegoogelt.
we will know our freedom.
Okay, Ich wurde geschickt, um die Prinzessin umzubringen, um sie davon abzuhalten, die Welt zu zerstören. Wenn ich dir helfe, ist es das, was du dann tust?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
What are you going to do if I
How
help
can
you?
I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay. Make me forget.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
What the freaking hell? Was? Everything goes dark and you die. Was? Kapitel 1. Bring the apple
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her.
Das war eine komische, das war auf jeden Fall jetzt einige Kapitel. Das war jetzt so eine Strecke, die wir gegangen sind. Okay, das haben wir letztes Mal gemacht. Was ist denn wir Kapitel 1? Jetzt, wenn wir das jetzt drücken, würde es, glaube ich, wieder was anderes machen. Weil wir ja eben, vielleicht, aber ich bin mir nicht sicher, weil vorhin haben wir das in Kapitel 2 gemacht. Wir haben sozusagen sie erst getriggert irgendwie und dann sind wir gegangen. Und das hat irgendwie alles schlimmer gemacht. Deswegen würde ich sagen, wir gehen leise zur Hütte.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. you'll find the princess within.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the
Ich
floor
will das
and
ungern
walls are
skippen. Ich finde es
painted
schön,
in
wenn
a
wir das
fine
nochmal
layer of
vielleicht so
dust.
3-4 Mal erleben.
The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The
Gut,
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Ich würde jetzt mal sagen, da wir wieder am Anfang sind, wir machen jetzt mal alles, was der Erzähler sagt. So. Ne, wir nehmen das
You
Ding
take the
mit.
blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Jetzt gucken wir mal und wir gehen rein.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below.
Wir haben ja hier unten noch so
This
Dinger, die wir
is an
anklicken können, aber ich habe die ehrlich
oppressive
gesagt, ich habe die
The
gesehen, aber
air
irgendwie auch
feels
nicht.
heavy and damp, a hint
safe
of
ist klar.
rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Können wir hier eigentlich sehen? Darf ich mal kurz draufdrücken? Oh ja. Nee, doch, wir sehen hier alles. Warte, sehen wir alles, was wir durchlebt haben? Naja, mehr oder weniger. So.
Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Jetzt ist sie wieder so
She
pissig.
sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Ich will nicht wieder dasselbe machen. Hi! Just checking on you. Ich schaue nur nach dir. Ich sag mal Hallo.
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
Oh.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Ich habe Angst, dass es
Is
wieder
she
genau
really a
gleich
threat to
wird.
the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Jetzt gehe ich nicht auf sie zu. Das habe ich vorhin gemacht. Hm. Warum glaubst du das?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Don't you dare.
Ah,
It's fine. We can
Don't
decide
you
what we want
dare.
to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster, but killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Okay, ich lasse es fallen.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and
Das
drops
Ding
to
fiel
the
runter.
floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face. Unarmed.
We'll be fine.
Ich schaff
Don't
das.
know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning.
Eigentlich
with
läuft schon
her.
wieder alles nicht so, wie ich dachte, aber egal.
Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
Okay, es ist sehr komisch. Relationship? Weißt du, warum ich hier bin, um dich umzubringen? Okay, wir haben genug geredet. Ja, ist schon ein bisschen komisch.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
Oh, ich dachte, das sagst du mir. Mir wurden Dinge gesagt, aber ich weiß
Believe
nicht.
me.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything crystal clear? Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here.
That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Hm. Wie kann ich dich hier rauskriegen?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting, right?
Was?
She is.
Oh, sie will sich nicht die Hand abhacken, oder? Also, weiß nicht, aber so, wie heißt dein Name?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Das ist gar nicht mehr so süß wie am Anfang.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Wie lange bist du schon hier unten?
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics.
Vielleicht ist sie aber auch so eine
matter
arrogante
how hard you
Prinzessin einfach nur.
You'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Weißt du, warum ich hier
Do
bin? So?
you?
Weißt du's? Also ich weiß, was mir gesagt wurde. Entweder was ich glaube oder was ich whether or not I believe ist ein Entscheidung. Achso, was ich glaube oder nicht, ist ein ganz andere Ding.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
Mein Gott, ist die nervig. Okay, wir haben genug geredet.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
Arrogant, wenn ich in Fesseln liege, jemand mich killen will, sag ich auch nichts. Ja. Okay, jetzt will ich mal was probieren. Passt mal auf. Ich bring dich hier raus.
Oh, you have to be kidding. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall.
Entschuldigung, Leute, ich will es einfach probieren.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Das stimmt allerdings. Okay, wenn der Schlüssel nicht hier ist, hast du irgendwelche Anregungen? Beside me cutting you out of here. Du hast mich nicht rauszuschneiden. Ich hab Angst, dass wenn ich mich umdrehe, dass die irgendeinen Scheiß macht. Nee, wenn ich weggehe, schnappt sie sich das Messer. Stellt euch mal vor. Oh, weiß nicht. Ich sag erstmal, was ist, wenn da kein Schlüssel ist? Hast du eine andere
That would
Idee?
be fine. I can lose an arm.
Oh! Was?
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out. Anything to finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
Was? Moment, ich wollte, dass das ganz
Someone
anders
else
läuft. Try the
You
door.
try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Der Narrator hat mich eingeschrieben.
Your shouts
jemand hier?
and pleas are met with silence. I'll repeat myself once again. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Okay, ich gehe zurück.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to.
Ich dachte, ich kann die Geschichte halt ein bisschen
Easier for
umdrehen.
whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
Die Dinge entwickeln sich irgendwie nicht so, wie ich sie haben wollte. Sag ich euch ehrlich.
The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
Was?
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Okay, ich schneide jetzt den Arm ab.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain.
Ich habe das jetzt irgendwie
You
gedacht,
cut
dass...
into her flesh. The blade is sharp and you make quick work of it. Before long you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound. Free from her bindings, the princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm?
Die ist doch
So
nicht
she's
menschlich, das
even
kann man mir nicht
bothered by
erzählen.
it.
So, Leute, ich muss ehrlich sagen, vorhin wurde gesagt, ich sitze vorm Text, aber ganz ehrlich, dann seht ihr das hier nicht. Ich zensiere ihre hässlichen Augen. Perfekt, so, gut.
Thank
Weitermachen.
you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Der Erzähler bringt uns dazu.
Watch me.
Wie ich das kann. Oh. Oh, das kann ich nicht anklicken, ne? Kann ich das anklicken? Nee.
Stop that.
I thought this was a little too easy.
Oh.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it. Stop resisting me. I am trying to get you out of here alive.
Ich sitze schon wieder vor ihrem hässlichen... Eure hässlichen Hand. Okay. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
You're doing your best to help me, aren't you? I can see the conflict in your eyes. I'll make this quick.
She steps forward and pries the blade
Warum
from
haben
your
wir wirklich
rigid
so eine
hands.
Ding? Wieso sind wir so ein Monster?
Maybe I'll see you in another life.
Ich will nicht schon wieder sterben.
And then she slits your throat with an almost clinical ease. Her face remains unchanged as she watches you collapse to the ground, blood flowing from your butchered neck. This is the end, isn't it? I'm afraid it is. Everything goes dark, and you die. I hope it was worth it.
Kapitel 2, The Prisoner.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Wieso sterbe ich eigentlich immer in Kapitel 1 schon? Okay, ich gehe zur Cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying
Ich
her.
lasse dieses Blade jetzt
Don't
oben.
believe a word. Yes,
Keine
yes.
Ahnung.
Don't believe a word she says. Just
Jetzt
go
kommt
in,
der
take the
Skeptische.
knife, and
Was
do
ob
what
das
you're
skeptisch?
supposed to. Wink. Did you just say wink out loud?
Wink.
No, I
Ist
didn't.
nicht- Ist Winken
Wink.
nicht...
Just
Zwinkern?
ignore this clown and focus on the princess.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin
schau, die
is
schöne
less
dieser
a
Spiegel.
cozy woodland retreat and more like a dungeon. A few pathetic wisps of starlight attempt to illuminate the cold, uninviting stone
haben wir eine
walls,
andere
and
Szenerie.
thick, wrought iron bars barricade the
Das ist cool.
windows, reminding anyone who enters that this is a prison. The only furniture of note is an iron table, bolted to the floor, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Ich würde jetzt, wenn es für alle Beteiligten in Ordnung ist, ich lasse den Mirror jetzt mal in Ruhe und ich gehe einfach ohne alles in
I'm
the
afraid I'm
basement.
going to insist we take the blade. We're in a dangerous situation and I'm not letting us go down there without a weapon. Are you sure?
Hä?
What if she-
Meine Stimme im Kopf soll mal ruhig sein.
turns it against us. Which I'm bringing up in a purely
Was ist, wenn
hypothetical
es
manner.
gegen uns denkst?
Yes, I'm sure. Turns it against you. She's a prisoner here. She'll only be able to turn it against you if you give it to her. Which you won't be doing because she's an existential threat to the entire world.
Naja, also
Okay.
gerade ging es ja...
I'm trusting you.
Hey, kann ich hier nicht... Habe ich hier nicht auch was zu sagen? What's the big idea?
Yeah, but not about this. Call it a reflex. We take the knife as we go.
Nein!
Wonderful. You do
Mann!
exactly that, sweeping the knife from the table before proceeding to the basement. Don't
Hallo,
worry
alle
about it.
arbeiten gegen
We
mich.
have a knife, so what? It's not like we have to use it. No, you don't have to do anything, but you do well to use it regardless. Moving on.
Der Spiegel ist weg. Ich habe jetzt nicht in das Spiel geguckt. Vorher in
The
das
door to
Spiegel
the
geguckt.
basement creaks open, revealing an old
Hat sie jetzt eigentlich
stone
wieder keine Hand?
staircase. A few sputtering torches attempt to vaguely illuminate your path, dancing
Das sieht
across
so
glimmering
cool aus.
patches of
Das erinnert mich
slimy
doch an ein
knots and stone
anderes
steps.
Spiel oder ein
If
anderes,
the
einen
princess
anderen
lives here,
Film.
slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
So.
Her voice, harsh but controlled, carries up the stairs.
Is that a visitor I hear? Please, come downstairs. It's been a while since I've had company.
Moment, aber wenn...
I wonder what visitors she
Moment,
could be
schauen wir uns gleich mal an,
referring
wie sie
to. Are
aussieht.
we not the first?
Are we not the first?
You walk down
Oh,
the stairs and
das
lock
habe ich jetzt
eyes
irgendwie
with
nicht
the
kommen sehen.
princess. She looks up at you, the heavy collar around her neck clanking loudly as she moves. The chains binding both her wrists to the far wall, joining the metallic chorus as she adjusts her hands in her lap. Should we be worried about the one around her neck? Why would you be worried about her restraints? If anything, they'll make your job easier. Have you noticed the empty chain on the wall? Odd that in a place where everything seems to serve a distinct purpose, there would be something so obviously useless.
Wirklich, das habe ich auch gerade gefragt. Für was ist die Rechte?
What an interesting development. Why don't you have a seat? The two of us should chat before you bury that thing in my heart.
Was? I'm not sure I need to do much of anything. Do you see how locked up she is? I'm not going to leave her here. Was? I'm just going to leave... Ich lasse sie einfach da. Nein, ich setze mich hin.
You step towards the princess, but she stops you before you get too close, holding up one shackled hand.
There's fine. I'd prefer we keep some distance until we've sorted this out.
That's reasonable. We do have a weapon. Might as well put her at ease.
Mhm. Nee, ich bleib da. Also, ich könnte noch näher sitzen, aber ich bleib da, wo ich
You
bin.
do as she asks and sit on the floor, still a good distance away from her.
Das ist okay.
Thank you. Now, what are your intentions for me?
Hmm. What happened after I died last time? Die andere Ding an der Wand. Für was ist
I
sie?
don't know, but you could always try it on.
Nein, danke.
Maybe it'll fit.
Vielleicht passt sie ja.
I hope I don't actually have to say this, but please don't lock yourself in chains. We need you ambulatory if you're going to save the world.
Ich hoffe, ich muss das nicht klarstellen, aber du wirst dich nicht anketten. So, nee, wir machen nicht die. Wir könnten jetzt angucken. Du hast über meine Intentions, also meine Vorhaben, oder was ist das, dein Vorhaben? Was meinst du damit?
Your intentions. You have a knife. What are you going to do with it? Why are you here? There isn't a keyhole in these shackles, so I'm afraid my only way out is surgical removal.
Nicht schon wieder Surgical Removal.
Is she forgetting about the shackle on her neck?
Hat sie über die Dinger in ihrem
Or
Hals
does she
vergessen?
think she'd survive a beheading?
Und da glaubt sie, dass sie wenn sie geköpft
You're
wird, dass sie
right.
das überlebt.
Maybe she's delusional. All the more reason not to trust her. Unless she really could survive.
Though I suppose you could just be here to kill me. But I don't think that's in either of our best interests.
Okay. What would you have me to...
Let me borrow that knife.
Nein.
Don't worry, you'll get it back.
Nein.
That's ominous.
But she
Nein.
seems confident. Whatever it is she has planned, I think she knows what she's doing.
Ich ahne
Oh,
Böses.
please, she's just putting on an act to disarm you. That much should be obvious. In case you need to hear
Aber
a
sie
voice
hat
of
sich ja
reason,
auch
it
gerade,
would
also,
obviously
naja,
be
ne,
unwise
das,
to give away your only weapon. Though if she isn't bluffing, whatever she has planned might be for her benefit alone. There's no guarantee that what's good for her is good for us.
Sie könnte sie aber auch wieder gegen uns verwenden.
So,
das Messer
what
gegen
should we
uns
do?
verwenden.
I don't know. I'm just spelling out our options, listing the pros and cons.
Mhm.
Then let me help you. I'll start with the cons. If you're handing her your weapon, the cons are that she might use it to escape and end the entire world. And she might use it to kill you. That doesn't sound great. What about the pros? There are none. The pros are that we can't trust him. Possibly even more than we can't
Jetzt ist
trust
die
her.
Voice of Skeptic plötzlich
Whatever
mag
she
den
has
Narrator
planned
nicht
could
mehr.
do something to mess with what he has planned. Or maybe they're both screwing us over in their own ways.
Okay, ich gebe dir keine Waffe.
If you take a moment to imagine yourself in my position, I think you'll understand why letting you near me with that thing is untenable. So, be a good bird and hand it over.
Nein.
And if being nice isn't enough motivation, well, I'm not afraid to resort to violence.
Oha, die ist schrecklich vor
If you come near
Gewalt
me
zurück.
with that thing, I will strangle you with these chains.
Ich glaube,
She
dass sie das auch kann.
beat around the bush, does she? Yes, it's almost like she's a fundamentally bad person who wishes to inflict pain on others. Or it's another bluff.
No hard feelings, of course. But you should be aware of my position.
So you've already been here. As much as I would like to remain in denial, it's no use. This has complicated things. It's complicated things how, exactly? Ideally, this was supposed to be one and done. You go to the cabin, you heroically slay the princess, and in the process you save the entire world from being damned to oblivion.
Ja.
The situation right now, where you're getting a second shot at things, is a contingency. A contingency for what? For you failing, obviously. And you being here means that things are going to be a lot harder than they were. I really shouldn't say anything else, I'm just going to make it worse. Just... good luck.
Good luck.
If you knew this could happen, why didn't you tell us? All of this is incredibly valuable information. It would have changed our actions considerably. I needed you to be in the dark for as long as I could keep you there. It's important. Necessary, even. And maybe I wanted to be the first version of me that you met. I didn't want to be confronted by the alternative. That's pathetic.
Pathetic.
I never said I wasn't. I get it. It would be pretty upsetting, wouldn't it? To know that you might not be the first version of yourself. At least we can remember what happened before. Seems like we should count ourselves lucky for that. Exactly, he gets it. You're lucky. So don't waste that luck by messing it up again. Alright? Moving on.
Alright.
Why is it important for us to be ignorant? How is it ever helpful to be in the dark? The more I say, the more
Wieso
your mind
reden die
will
eigentlich
swim
seit
into
3
dangerous
Stunden, während
waters.
sie einfach sich so
Even saying
langweilt und
that
sagt,
is
gib
too
mir das
much.
Ding.
Your success hinges on
Der
you
Erzähler,
having
der
imperfect information.
der Dings,
sake
wie heißt
I
der?
won't.
Skeptische... Oh, ich hab's weitergeklickt.
Fine.
Und
Do you want
wir.
to get another word from me on the matter? Yeah, sure. We'll see about that.
Der skeptische Voice of
Just give it a
Skeptic.
rest. This isn't helping.
Focus. This is a serious situation. You shouldn't be
Ich wollte es
daydreaming.
gerade sagen. Okay. Hm. Du bist in Ketten. If anyone should be to negotiate. Was ist negotiation? Okay, ich glaube ihr. Gib ihr dieses Messer. Oh mein Gott. Verhandeln heißt es. Ah, stimmt. Macht Sinn. Das ist auch nicht schlecht. So, wo war es jetzt? Wenn du gehen willst, dann bin ich derjenige mit der Waffe. So, komm damit klar. Und dann cut her out. So schneid sie selber raus. If that's how you're going to be, then I guess I have to do the slay the princess. Wir könnten sie als eigentlich theoretisch spricht ja nichts gegen das Slayen, weil sie ja in Ketten ist. Oder ich glaube, leave the princess at the basement. Ich gerne wissen, was passiert. Aber letztes Mal habe ich sie auch einfach liegen gelassen und dann ist es auch einfach nicht gut gegangen. Also ich schwanke tatsächlich gerade zwischen zwei drastischen Mitteln. Entweder ich schneide sie selber raus. Ich will nicht diese Dinger angucken, weil ich habe Angst, dass sie mich echt umbringt, mir dann das Messer wegschnappt. Also sie hat gesagt, wenn ich näher komme, tut sie mir die Dinger um den Hals und mich erwürgen. Ich glaube, ich würde sagen, wenn du bist in Ketten, wenn jemand...
You'd be right. But this isn't exactly a usual situation. I'm not someone you can wait out. You'll find that I'm extremely patient.
Shit, hat uns nicht weitergebracht. Okay, Oh, ich weiß nicht, ob ich das drücken will. Wenn du willst, dass ich gehe, bin ich derjenige mit der Waffe. Komm damit klar. Schneid sie selber raus. Scheiß drauf.
Do you think these chains take away my saying things? I said no.
What?
As you move towards the princess, she stands, her chains clinking as she wraps them around her fists.
Jetzt haut sie mich gleich.
In an instant, they're around your neck, both of you dropping to the ground as she pulls them taut, bracing her body against yours as you struggle uselessly.
Oops.
The metal chains constrict around your windpipe as the princess heaves with a muscled intensity.
Drop the knife or you die.
What is she doing? We weren't trying to attack her. I can see where she might have gotten the wrong idea. She doesn't have much agency here. Would we have trusted her if she walked up to us with a blade again, after what happened between us? How many times did I warn you she's not to be trusted? But while strangulation can be very distracting, she's not armed, and you have your pristine blade. End her before she ends you.
Also entweder ich lasse es jetzt fallen und sie bringt mich vielleicht weiter um, oder ich slay her und ich schaffe es wieder nicht. Ich schaffe es wieder nicht und sie bringt mich erst recht um. Ich glaube, ich lasse es fallen.
As your weapon falls pathetically to the floor, the princess releases you from her stranglehold, shoving you away with a swift kick.
Wieso ist die so stark?
Your hands test the bruised flesh of your neck as you regain your senses, watching with a dazed expression as the princess snatches up the blade.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
Oh mein Gott.
She pulls up her hair, smiling slightly, as she raises the blade to her throat.
Was?
You can stay right where you are for this next part.
What is she doing?
Was?
She doesn't say another word as she cuts into her own neck.
Oh mein Gott. Look away. Watch it uneasy silence.
Her eyes stare forward, unblinking, as she soars through skin, veins, cartilage. At last she reaches bone, the blade grinding audibly against her vertebra as it continues to slice its way through her neck. I'll be damned. She's actually doing your job for you. Why would she do that? Huh. So that's her play. Killing herself? She isn't dead yet. Finally, you hear a snap. Her eye twitches. There's an uneasy silence. She remains motionless for a long moment, her twitching eye the only movement in the room, until at last it stops in an her head
Oh,
twists
shit, sorry.
slowly to the side, flopping to her shoulder, and her neck opens.
Ich hoffe, ihr habt alle einen stabilen Magen.
The remaining tissue is not enough to hold the weight of her severed head. It stretches and tears until finally it falls to the floor, completely free. It bounces a few times before rolling to a stop.
It bounces a few times. Oh shit. Bleib oben, meine ich. Unten, oben.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, what did we do? Can we put it back? Please tell me we can put it back.
Please tell me we can put it back. Sag mir bitte, wir können es
Princess's
zurückschicken.
eyes stare up at you. Dead. Congratulations!
Ich möchte, dass
You
ihr
saved
seht.
the world. Are you sure she's not winking at us? Obviously not. She is thoroughly deceased. I hate this. Can we just get out of here now, please? Of course, the princess is slain and the world is saved. Whenever you're ready, you can proceed to your reward. We should take her with us, don't you think? What? No, you shouldn't do that. Why would you
So,
do
genug
that?
geguckt. So, die Prinzessin ist tot, du hast deinen Job. Sie hat deinen Job gemacht. Herzlichen Glückwunsch. Wir können gehen. Wann immer du
I
bereit
can
bist.
think of lots of reasons. A trophy, proof of our victory. Hell, we could even give her a proper burial. She did save the world, right? You don't need proof, you don't need a trophy, and she doesn't deserve a burial. Just leave.
Nein!
Even after all that, you're still not satisfied, are you? Something is still motivating you to keep things the way you want them. I'm just eager to put this all behind us and give you your reward. Stop reading into things, the danger has passed. You can relax.
Aber
I'm
sie...
just keeping myself sharp. I'm not so eager to put my guard down.
Hauptsache, der Skeptische diskutiert die ganze Zeit mit dem Erzähler.
I'm on team, let's put this all behind us, so can we leave already?
Tja, gehen wir jetzt einfach? Oder nehmen wir sie mit? Wie sollen wir sie denn bitte mitnehmen? Wir können ja nur den Kopf mitnehmen. Als ob ich jetzt den Kopf mitnehme. Ich nehme den Kopf mit.
Ugh, fine. You pick up the princess's severed head, its neck stump still oozing bodily fluids. Then make your way back upstairs to the first floor of the cabin. Did you see that? I could have sworn she moved. She didn't. She's dead. But what if she's not?
Scheiße, vielleicht darf sie nicht aus dem Kerker raus. Vielleicht lasse ich sie doch nicht an die Welt, an die frische Luft. Da! Das da, habt ihr es gesehen? Das hat gewackelt. Oder nicht? Also, ich hätte ganz schwören können, es hat kurz so gemacht.
Right in front of you. All you have to do is open it.
Leave the cabin and claim your reward.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Bitte.
Only a world saved from certain doom isn't what you find. Instead, what you find is... Wait, no, that's not right.
Was?
Well played.
Free a prisoner. Was?
This is the end of the world, isn't it? I always thought I'd at least have time to explain myself before I had to watch it happen. It's already...
Oh. Oh.
Over? Is he gone?
Oh.
But we're still here. Maybe it wasn't the end of the world after all. Maybe it was just the end of his.
Thanks for carrying me up here. I had to take it on faith that you would know what to do. I'm glad I was right to trust you.
Oops.
So, this is the outside. Maybe it's just my lack of body, but it's colder than I expected.
Wieder diese Grifflände. War das jetzt gut? Oder war das jetzt scheiße schon wieder? Du hattest keine Chance zu antworten. Oder wirst du es je? Es ist Zeit zu gehen. Memory returns.
Where does she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Oh, Entschuldigung. Es wird alles gut. Vertrau mir. Wir waren hier schon. Und du warst
It
immer,
feels so
hattest immer
bad.
Angst.
Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything.
You're right. Part of me wants the truth, but something stronger is holding me back.
4. Sorry, war jetzt zu schnell. Es ist nicht das Ende. Was auch immer auf der anderen Seite ist, wird schön. Es ist das Ende für dich, aber nicht das Ende für mich. Ich sehe dich auf der anderen Seite. Es wird gut, alles wird gut.
Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you.
Feels too good to be true.
Okay, approach the mirror. Du näherst dich dem Spiegel. Gaze into your reflection. Silent as you reach forward, they run. Hatte das nicht vorhin auch? They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've grown. Du bist gewachsen. Du bist größer. Oh oh. Oh oh. Oh oh. Du findest dich in der großen Stille wieder. Du bist die Tüte Kevin. Da ist... Oh! Du bist bei der Hütte. Nähere dich.
Flickering lights in empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Mhm. Bist du dasselbe Ding, dasselbe Sein, so was wie vorher? How much have you
child
changed?
The same as an infant? I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same.
Du warst netter zu mir als jemand anderes, als alle, die ich je getroffen habe. Danke.
Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me.
Was können wir sie noch fragen? What do you want me to bring you next time?
Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. Do not worry. There are no wrong answers. And every perspective illuminates my shadows and shares new secrets.
Ey, diese Dinger. Ich will dich nicht verletzen, aber je öfter ich zurückgehe, umso schlimmer werden
The
die
vessels
Dinge.
are a weave of emotion at odds with themselves, but they are only perspectives. They are not me. The wounds they've suffered carve texture around my heart. Without them, I would be as I was before. I would be alone and without sensation. I could not feel the joy of having you by my side, for I would not know your absence.
Da gibt's so viele Attack. Ich will sie nicht destroy your body. Nein. Ich bin nur so
I
überrascht.
await your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
Ich erschrecke mich jedes Mal vor diesem Ding. Kapitel 1. Bring a prisoner's head to her, the hero and the princess.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that
So
path
geil.
is a cabin.
Das Gute ist,
And in the basement of that
wer
cabin,
von vornherein nicht dabei
Diese
war, hier gerade live auf
Princess.
Twitch, der kriegt immer wieder Kapitel 1 zu spüren. Und wir
you're
sind immer
here
wieder
to
scheiße.
slay her.
Es tut mir so leid, wir sind
If
in
you
so einer
don't,
Endlosschleife
It
gefangen.
will be the end of the world.
Okay, jetzt wartet mal. Jetzt sage ich erstmal das
I'm
Ende.
talking about the end of everything as we know it.
Ich würde das mal skippen, weil das haben wir ganz am Anfang trotzdem gemacht. So von wegen, wie kann eine Prinzessin, die halt eingesperrt ist, die Ende des Dings. Das sind Dinge, die wir ganz am Anfang getestet haben. Jetzt wartet mal, ich probiere mal was. Hast du einen Beweis dafür,
Look,
dass
you're already on.
er will uns wieder bla bla. Du bist schon da. Warum sollte ich denn... Okay. Okay, guck mal. Jetzt haben wir nämlich diese Dinger hier, die wir vorhin nicht hatten. Ich würde jetzt mal gerne... Ich rede erst mit ihr. Ich rede erst mit ihr und dann entscheide ich. Pass mal auf.
Talk to her. See how that turns out for all of us. You make your way up the short path to
Das
the
war
cabin.
ungefähr, was wir am Anfang hatten.
You'll find the princess within.
Runde 1. Ich gehe hin. Ich möchte erst mit ihr reden.
The interior of the cabin is a
Okay.
blade.
Ich gehe ohne rein. Ich probiere es jetzt einfach. Ich gehe ohne Blade rein.
The door to the basement, her voice softly.
Hello?
Jetzt ist sie wieder
Is
so
someone
nett.
there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once
Das
to
wollte ich
remember it
triggern,
for the
dass sie
rest of
wieder
your
die
life.
kleine, arme Prinzessin im Eck
Don't
ist.
let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
So. Ich bin hier, um dich zu
How
retten.
many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
Nein, lass mich jetzt
Wait,
retten.
really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone?
I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to
Ist euch-
happen forever.
Ist euch eigentlich klar, dass wir sie bisher nur einmal slayen konnten? Richtig? Und zwar jetzt gerade nach so 2 Stunden circa. Nicht ganz, aber fast. Nach Versuch Nummer 2 oder auch nicht korrekt. Oder vielleicht korrekt, keine Ahnung.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
Okay, ich schau mal, was ich tun kann.
You're only making this more difficult.
Du machst das nur schlimmer.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Nein.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. Okay, ich gehe hoch und checke ab. Wenn irgendwas liegt, dann bla bla.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear
Das
the
Messer ist
click of the
draußen.
lock sliding
Vorhin
into
hatten wir doch das
place.
Messer. Scheiße.
Is someone else here?
You try the
Try the door.
door, but it's locked from the outside. Your
Hey, ist
shouts
er
and
hier?
pleas are met with silence.
Okay, wir haben ein Déjà-vu.
You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Ja, aber
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs.
ich
This
hab
would
das
have been
Ding
so
ist
much
draußen.
easier if you'd just taken the blade like you
Entschuldigung.
were supposed to.
Entschuldigung.
Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
Oh mein Gott, bitte nicht.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf.
What the fuck? Kann man hier ein bisschen
As she
vorwarnen?
rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you. the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit.
Ich habe mir das auch irgendwie wieder anders
She didn't
vorgestellt.
so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered
Ich
by what
stehe
just
schon
happened.
wieder vor dem Ding. Ihr dürft es jetzt euch sehr gerne wieder angucken.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Nähere dich der
No.
Tür.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her
Jetzt
escape
will er mich
into the
wieder
world.
hier dingsen lassen.
No.
Sie angreifen lassen.
I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
Ich habe ein Déjà-vu.
Watch me.
What are you doing?
Ich könnte es jetzt sogar machen. Boah, weiß ich nicht. Nee, ich warne sie. Ich warne sie.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart.
Nein, ich habe sie doch gewarnt.
But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Resist.
The blade. Move the blade.
Nein!
As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
Nichts!
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Was
She
tust
doesn't know how
du?
to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
Sag mal, wieso in Gottes Namen
With one
sterbe ich
last
immer?
thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to
Ich
the
hab sie
floor,
doch gerettet.
your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive.
Jetzt nächstes Mal slay ich sie, ist mir egal, jetzt reicht's
Princess
mir langsam.
stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark,
And
and
you
you
die.
die.
Toll, Leute. The damsel. Was ist damsel? Sagt mir was. Ich weiß es aber gerade nicht.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin.
Wir müssen sie jetzt
And in the
outplayen.
basement of that cabin is a princess. You're
Ja.
here to slay her.
Okay. So. Warte, ist das nicht schon passiert?
Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Klar.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
Okay.
Yes, he didn't approve of us last
Das
time,
Mitten.
did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about it.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Damsel heißt Fräulein. Damsel in distress. Jungfrau in Nöten. Ach, süß.
So all of the cards are on the
Ja,
table.
so
Then you should
so
know
sah sie
that
auch aus.
we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works.
We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek.
What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Okay. Let's just tell you the truth, and all of this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me.
If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
You were the one
Mal
who
wieder.
did us in, villain.
Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price.
I beg to differ.
I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would?
She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme.
Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any
Streitet
more
euch.
simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
Good. So. Let's talk about
Just be quick
princess.
about it.
Wer hat sie also im Keller eingesperrt? Was ist dieser
People
Ort?
locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods. Don't overcomplicate things.
Okay. Der einzige Grund, warum sie mich umbringen konnte, war, weil ich sie ließ. Sie konnte kaum ein Messer halten. Wie soll sie dann die Welt
She just
hier
can.
beenden?
Believe me, I wish I could tell you more, but you'll just have to trust that what
Jetzt
I'm
glaub ich
saying
ihm
is
wieder
true,
nicht.
and that, despite it all, you're fully up to the task that's been given to you.
Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
Sure, it's her beauty. Why not? And before you ask, no, we can't just keep her down there. If you don't slay her, she's going to find a way out. It's unfortunate, I know, but it's just the way it is.
Schade. Wenn die Leute sie eingesperrt haben, warum haben sie die nicht umgebracht? Warum muss ich das machen?
I'm not supposed to say this, but it's because you're special.
Ich glaube
You're the
nicht.
only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy, if that helps, but it's just the way things are.
Er ist schon wieder so sass.
Oh, I didn't know we were special. Of course you're special. Why else would you be here?
Calling us special isn't going to make us friends, even if it did feel nice. Oh, believe me, the last thing I want is for you and I to be friends. But I'm a professional, and I'm not going to let my dislike for you get in the way of helping you save the world.
Okay, das ist alles.
Great. Now, if you don't mind, the whole world is waiting with bated breath for you to save it from ruin.
Nein. Turn around and leave. Ich würde so gern gehen. I'm with them. I'm going to find a way to save her from the
That's
killer.
right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does.
Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Ja. Proceed to the cabin. Ich will sie da retten. Ich rette sie jetzt.
Warning. Before you go any she will lie.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Okay. Wir nähern uns wieder der Hütte. Ich will mal Kabine sagen.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner.
Nehmen wir jetzt das Messer mit?
Is an ornate wooden table with a
Oder nehmen wir
pristine
das
blade
Messer
perched
nicht
on
mit?
its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Das geht ganz anders als letztes Mal.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Ja, hast nicht über den
That's
Spiegel
because there
denkst,
isn't
oder?
a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here.
Doch.
There's definitely a mirror.
There isn't.
I'm sure the princess would tell us there was a mirror if she were up here.
In which case she'd be lying to you because, again, there isn't a mirror.
Ist ein Mirror. Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
Ich frage mich, was es mit dem Spiegel auf sich hat. Ob das irgendwie mal was anderes irgendwie...
It was there a second ago.
And now it's gone.
thanks.
Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Ich gehe... Ich gehe ohne Blade runter. Keine
The
Ahnung.
door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice.
It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far
Ich fühle mich
wall.
gerade wie bei Shrek.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul
Ich
imprisonment.
glaube gerade nicht zu 100% übrigens, was Voice of the Smitten heißt. Und Smitten heißt, für die Leute, die es nicht wissen, vernarrt. Also halt so, also, ja, sowas. Ungefähr, so, in dem Sinn.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She
Das erklärt
may
so
not
einiges.
be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
That's
Die
right,
Musik ist
villain.
happy, ich bin
And
happy.
you
Mal
killed
gucken, ob
us.
wir es jetzt gleich wieder komplett die Stimmung kippen oder ob wir diesmal lebendig rauskommen.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained
beloved
by
hands.
cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more
Doch,
certain
am
that we
Anfang
must
haben wir das
chase
World's
our
End
heroic
gesehen, mehr oder
and
weniger.
romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Nein, okay. Du hast mich letztes Mal umgebracht und es hat so wehgetan. Warum hast du das getan?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we?
Wollten wir?
We warned her of the cruel forces
Oh.
seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us. She is our beloved, and she made the choice to free us of our misery, to show us mercy and make the best decision for everyone.
She made the best decision for her. Don't be so quick to assign kindness. You're just opening yourself up to manipulation.
Was ist passiert, nachdem ich gestorben
You
bin?
died, and now we're talking.
Okay. Weiß nicht, ob ich das sagen will. Es tut mir leid, was letztes Mal passiert ist. Der Erzähler, der mich geschickt hat, wollte, dass ich dich, hat mich geschickt, um dich umzubringen. Und er hat beziehungsweise der Erzähler, der mich geschickt hat, um mich umzubringen, hat Kontrolle über meinen Körper genommen. Das war extrem unfair. Will ich das sagen? Das killt so ein bisschen die Stimmung, oder? Ich habe kein Messer mitgebracht. Weiß ich nicht. Alles ist irgendwie... Oh, weiß nicht. Es tut mir
Another
leid.
version of me was
Ich sag, es
pushed
tut mir
to
leid.
such drastic action. It was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride.
Macht sie umgekehrte
To a
Psychologie?
surprising extent. And almost
That's because
Oh,
she's
Entschuldigung, sag mir.
perfect.
Oh.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
Oh, glaubt ihr, sie hat auch jemand, der ihr sagt, was sie
She
sagen soll?
doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it
Weiß
better
man's?
if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
Okay, aber bevor wir start talking, wie ist die Welt ist die Welt untergegangen? Hast du die Welt
I don't
untergehen
know.
lassen?
Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Nein!
Isn't that just like our
Nein!
darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
Ehrlich gesagt, the world sucks. People are black, and I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. Mein Gott, wie gerne würde ich das sagen. I have no feelings one way or the other about the world ending. Nee, ich möchte, dass die Welt nicht endet.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is
Sie hat sie bestimmt.
innocent.
Oh, sorry,
Not
ich
so
habe wieder geklickt.
sure.
Ich habe kein Messer mitgebracht. Muss ich dich wieder rausschneiden?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
Oh mein Gott,
What?
bitte nicht.
No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird?
Vor allem, wenn sie sich doch selber so rausschlüpfen kann, wieso hat sie es schon nicht längst gemacht? Also ich meine...
She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Nein! Rescue the princess.
No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
Gott, Stimme.
I would.
I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. But I guess I have to.
I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
Ich ahne Böses irgendwie.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful
Boobies!
embrace.
Entschuldigung.
Ugh.
Blah.
If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved. Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon.
Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
Er braucht eine Waffe, wenn wir die Kraft der Liebe auf unserer Seite
What do
haben.
we do now?
Was möchtest du
Let me
machen?
guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole
Ich
thing
find's
is just a
grad irgendwie ein bisschen
misunderstanding?
süß, aber
What
ich
if
bin
she
noch
doesn't want to end the
skeptisch.
world?
Weil ich nicht weiß, ob sich jetzt plötzlich schlagartig ändert.
You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Ich möchte, dass du mir sagst, was du willst. Dann muss es muss etwas geben, das du willst. Oder du musst sagen, do you want to add one? Nachher dreht sie es mir die Wörter im Mund und tut es wirklich. Es muss etwas geben, das du willst.
I just wanna make you happy.
Oh mein Gott.
She can't just want to make us happy.
Ich höre komische Musik.
It makes sense to me. That's all I want for her, so of course she'd want the same for us.
I want you to make me unhappy. Was? Do you want to end the
Are
world?
you seriously asking her that?
Ja.
Oh, we've been over this one. No, I do not want to end the world.
Okay. Habt ihr diese gruselige Musik kurz gehört? I want you to tell me what you
I
want.
just want to make you happy.
Alter. Aber was würde dich
I
glücklich
just want to
machen?
make you happy.
Oh mein Gott. Habe ich sie da kaputt gemacht? Du musst etwas mehr mögen, als mich happy zu machen.
Okay, I'll find something else to want if that makes you happy.
Is it just me, or does it feel like we're alone
It's
right
all
now?
she wanted.
Like we're the only ones here?
Hallo, ich wollte jetzt eigentlich in den Regenbogen spazieren mit ihr. Ich hatte keine Chance, ihnen noch eine weitere Frage zu stellen. Oder werde es? Oder du hast keine Chance und wirst es auch nicht mehr. Es ist Zeit für dich zu gehen.
She was our perfect match. She's gone.
Nein, das hätte so schön
Where
sein
did she
können.
go?
Hätte das jetzt schön sein können?
Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Oh. Approach the mirror. Okay, so. Silence has to reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes me leave, but you need to find her. You've withered. Wieso bin ich denn jetzt verrottet? Ist es nicht verrottet? Oh, Happy End! No! Als ob jetzt, oder? Als ob. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Jetzt kommen wieder die Troller. Du bist bei der Hütte. Wir gehen hin.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again.
Glaubt ihr, wir
All
hätten
of
das
me
echt
is
fixen können?
changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Es ist egal, wie viele Male ich zurückgehe. Einer von uns verletzt immer den anderen. Verändert dich das nicht? Macht dich das schlimmer,
It
böser,
changes
schlimmer?
me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does
Wir
it
waren
make you
so nah
worse?
dran.
Do you resent me?
Mann! Okay. Du folterst mich und ich hasse es. Ich denke, ich hasse dich. Bleib mal still.
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will subside in due time. But you still have a ways to go before we are done.
Weißt interessiert es sich immer noch nicht, was ich dir als nächstes
I
bringe?
care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Ja. Ich würde mal gerne wissen, was passiert, wenn wir da drauf drücken. Ich möchte nicht mehr zurückgehen. Ich möchte hier bleiben für immer, wenn ich
If you
muss.
need time, then I will wait with you.
Continue to wait forever.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return before forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping? If you close that box, will you become another you in another world? An imaginary pattern repeating itself until it can no longer bear the weight of its hand-drawn cage? You'll always come back to the box, because you'll always want to know what it means to be you. I will be here waiting by your side until you're ready to return to mine.
Ich komme immer noch nicht drauf klar. Ich frage mich jetzt, werde ich nächtelang nicht schlafen können, weil ich mich jetzt frage, was wäre passiert, wenn wir einfach gegangen wären mit ihr. Ah! Es ist abgestürzt! Wie jetzt? War das jetzt... Es hat sich einfach beendet. Hallo? Die hat gesagt, sie hat gerade... Moment, warte mal ganz kurz. Können wir ganz kurz darüber sprechen, dass sie gerade gesagt hat, sie wartet, bis ich wiederkomme und dann hat sich das Spiel beendet? Das könnt ihr jetzt nicht bringen. Das könnt ihr jetzt nicht bringen. Oh, es ist wieder! Wie krank ist das denn bitte? Oh mein Gott, ist das krank gemacht. Ich habe sowas noch nie erlebt. Es hat sich einfach beendet. Komplette Dings weg. Ich habe auf jetzt Spiel wieder auf Steam gedrückt und es ist einfach wieder, und du sagst, ist das geil. Oh, sowas liebe ich. Oh, ich finde sowas richtig cool. Sorry, aber ich finde sowas richtig cool. So, du bist wieder zurück. Was? Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side. Oh mein Gott. Okay, ich bin ready to go back. Wie cool ist das denn? Oh. Entschuldigung. Das ist so cool. Bring the deconstructed damsel to her.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Das ist so geil. Wisst ihr, was das Ding ist halt, Leute? Was passiert, wenn ich jetzt hier Save drücke? Oh, ich sollte vielleicht mal speichern. Wisst ihr, was halt geil ist? Es ist mal so ein richtig komplett anderes Game und es ist einfach... Auch das jetzt, das ist so... Wie nennt sich das? Innovativ? Keine Ahnung. Es ist einfach mal so... Die haben sich so richtig viel Mühe gegeben und sowas liebe ich ja. Und ihr habt schon gesehen, wir haben jetzt 3 Durchläufe. Ungefähr. Und jedes Mal ist irgendwas anderes. Und selbst wenn wir so eine ähnliche Strecke kurz hatten, hat sich trotzdem immer wieder irgendwie verändert. Das erste Mal ging richtig schief. Das war irgendeine Gottheit. Keine Ahnung, was es war. Das zweite Mal haben wir sie, sie hat, ja, kann man jetzt so sagen, wie man will es jetzt, haben sie irgendwie geslayt. Also, Und das dritte Mal hätten wir vielleicht einfach in den Sonnenuntergang oder Sonnenuntergang spazieren können, über den Regenbogen. Vielleicht habe ich es verkackt. Vielleicht wäre es auch einfach komisch geworden, wenn wir rausgekommen wären. Ich kann es euch nicht sagen. Was ich euch aber sagen kann, ist, dass das Spiel richtig nice ist und wir könnten jetzt hier noch 3 Stunden, 5, 8, 10 Stunden darin verbringen, diese ganzen Schritte nachzudingsen. Aber das machen wir vielleicht in einem nächsten Video. Man soll immer aufhören, wenn es am schönsten ist. Es war gerade super schön, vielleicht habe ich es auch kaputt gemacht. Ich habe keine Ahnung. Ich hinterfrage sowieso seit Stunden alle meine Schritte, was ich hätte anders machen können, dass ich sie entweder so einfach umgebracht hätte, ohne dass wir sterben, oder dass wir sie einfach gerettet hätten, ohne zu sterben, oder dass sie stirbt, oder dass wir... Es gibt 80.000 verschiedene Möglichkeiten. Und ihr seht jedes Mal diese anderen Kapitel, jedes Mal, wenn du zurückkommst, ist immer irgendwas anderes und es ist richtig cool. Und ich liebe sowas. Und ich hätte richtig Bock, das weiter zu spielen. Schreibt mir gerne in die Kommentare, ob ihr diese Höllenschleife, dieses Story-Game, ich finde nicht mal eine Beschreibung dafür, einfach nochmal spielen sollen und einfach wirklich nochmal 40 andere Wege versuchen einzuschlagen. Vielleicht schaffen wir es auch mal, sie umzubringen. Vielleicht wandern wir auch doch in den Sonnenaufgang, Untergang, whatever, ins Paradies mit ihr. Ich weiß nicht. Ich würde auf jeden Fall gerne beide. Ich bin zielstrebig und ich möchte das erreichen. Aber es ist richtig nice. Es ist richtig nice. Es hat, glaube ich, auch kein richtiges Ende, weil du immer wieder von vorne anfängst mit You're on the path in the woods and there's a princess. Und es ist richtig cool. Ich bin angenehm überrascht. Ich habe nur Gutes über dieses Spiel gehört und ich wurde auf jeden Fall nicht enttäuscht. Ich hoffe hier auch nicht. Ich finde es richtig geil und ich hätte mega Bock drauf. Schreibt mir gerne in die Kommentare, ob wir dieses Spiel noch mal angucken wollt, wie auch immer. Und ja, das würde mich mal gerne interessieren. Und schreibt mir auch gerne, ob ihr genauso verzweifelt wart wie ich oder ob ihr noch beschissenere Storys gekriegt habt als ich. Ich glaube, wir haben uns okay angestellt fürs erste Mal, dass wir das gespielt haben. Aber ich bin trotzdem irgendwie neugierig und würde gerne wissen, wie es weitergeht oder ob es irgendwie anders weitergeht und was es alles noch für keine Ahnung, wie krank die eigentlich noch werden kann. Wir haben, glaube ich, schon ich weiß nicht, ob wir schon das krankeste Ding von ihr gesehen haben. Ich habe ein bisschen Angst davor, dass es nicht das Krankeste war, was man hätte sehen können. Ich habe auch irgendwie das Gefühl, dass es noch schlimmer wird. Aber wir haben so viel creepy Zeug einfach jetzt schon in diesem Video gesehen. Wir wollen mehr. Ich will mehr. Schreibt mir, ob ihr mehr wollt. Ich bin echt gespannt, was ihr dazu sagt. Lasst gerne einen Daumen nach oben da, falls euch dieses Video gefallen hat. Und über ein Abo würde ich mich ganz arg freuen. Und wir sehen uns vielleicht. Schreibt mir zu einem weiteren Teil von Stay the Princess, zu anderen möchte gern paradiesischen Höllenschleifen oder einfach, wir werden einfach wieder sterben. Vielleicht sterben wir auch 10-mal. Ich weiß es nicht. Finden wir es raus. Dankeschön fürs Zugucken, Leute. Und bis zum nächsten Video. Ciao.